Hello, and welcome to this episode, Season 2 of Live from the Abyss. This is Doth Nihilus. Tonight, I am going to start off the new year with a red mass. And you can follow along if you would like. I'm going to go very slow so that way you can recite the correspondences, the text with me, and then I will be reading Liber Cheth, and doing a sermon on Babalon Gnosis, in relation to a little bit of history of Babylon, as well as what Babylon means to the Abbey of the Dark Mother, and by extension, Ecclesia Babylon. So with that, let's get started. From lead to gold through body and blood. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Recitation of the Creed. We affirm and apprehend one secret and ineffable principle, that of one star in the company of stars, of whose fire all are created, and to which all shall return, one Father of life, mystery of mystery, his name Chaos, the sole vice-regent of the sun upon the earth, and one air, the nourisher of all that breathes. And we profess one earth, mother of us all, in whose endless black womb, wherein all are begotten, and wherein all shall rest. Mystery of mystery, her holy name, Babylon. And we through revealed gnosis comprehend the serpent and the lion, mystery of mystery, their name Baphomet, the universal union of opposites. And we believe in one Gnostic and amalgamated sacramental church of light, life, love, and liberty, made achievable by the egregoric manifestation of the 156 current, subject to the call and the word of whose law is for all, Thelema. And we profess our belief in the communion of saints and the full recognition thereof, and for as much meat and drink are transmuted in us daily into spiritual substance, we know and affirm the miracle of the Mass. And we acknowledge one baptism of wisdom, whereby we accomplish the miracle of incarnation, and one baptism of understanding, whereby we accomplish the miracle of integration. Therefore, we affirm our lives, each one absolute, individual, and eternal, that was, and is to come, avowing there is no part of us that is not of the gods. With that, prayer to Babylon. There we go. Sorry. Hail Babylon, full of grace, the beast is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst whores, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Holy Babylon, mother of abominations, gather our blood in the golden cup of thy fornication. In nomine Babylon. Amen. Thou art the harlot that shaketh death. This shaking giveth the peace of satiate lust. Immortality jetteth from my skull, and music from my vulva. Thou art the harlot that shaketh death. This shaking giveth the peace of satiate lust. Immortality jetteth from thy skull, and music from thy vulva. Immortality jetteth from thy vulva also, for thy whoredom is a sweet scent, like a 7-string instrument played unto God the invisible, the all-ruler, that goeth along giving the shrill scream of orgasm. Hail to thee, O Babylon, who art the mother of abominations and holy whore, whose love pours out for all her children. Glory to thee, O Babylon, glory to she who guards the abyss from her mystical sea. The grace of her splendor deservedly won, I raise up the cup and sing in rapturous love unto thee. I adore thee. With that, we'll be reading from Liber Cheth. If you have a copy of Liber Cheth, please don't hesitate to get it out and read along with me. It only consists of 32 verses, I believe. I am using my copy of In Nomine Babylon, the collected Class A publications by Aleister Crowley. If you have a copy, go ahead and get it out. And we will start reading. Liber Cheth Valvalum Ebigne. This is the secret of the Holy Grail, that is the sacred vessel of Our Lady of the Scarlet Mother. This is the secret of the Holy Grail, that is the secret vessel of Our Lady, the Scarlet Woman, Babylon, the mother of abominations, the bride of chaos that rideth upon our Lord the Beast. Thou shalt drain out thy blood, that is thy life, into the golden cup of her fornication. Thou shalt mingle thy life with the universal life. Thou shalt keep back not one drop. Then shall thy brain be dumb, and thy heart beat no more. And all thy life shall go from thee, and thou shalt be cast out upon the midden, and the birds of the air shall feast upon thy flesh, and thy bones shall whiten in the sun. Then shall the winds gather themselves together, and bear thee up, as it were a little heap of dust, in a sheet that hath 4 corners, and they shall give it unto the guardians of the abyss. And because there is no life therein, the guardians of the abyss shall bid the angels of the winds pass by. And the angels shall lay thy dust in the city of the pyramids, and the name thereof shall be no more. Now, therefore, that thou mayest achieve this ritual of the Holy Grail, do thou divest thyself from all thy goods. Thou hast wealth, give it unto them that have need thereof, yet no desire toward it. Thou hast health, slay thyself in the fervor of thine abandonment unto Our Lady. Let thy flesh hang loose upon thy bones, and thine eyes glare with thy quenchless lust unto the infinite, with thy passion for the unknown, for her that is beyond knowledge, the accursed one. Thou hast love. Tear thy mother from thine heart, and spit in the face of thy father. Let thy foot trample the belly of thy wife, and let the babe at her breast be the prey of dogs and vultures. For if thou dost not this with thy will, then shall we do this despite thy will, so that thou attain to the sacrament of the Grail in the chapel of abominations. And behold, if by stealth thou keepest unto thyself one thought of thine, Then shalt thou be cast out into the abyss forever, and thou shalt be the lonely one, the eater of dung, the afflicted in the day of be with us. Yea, verily this is the truth, this is the truth, this is the truth. Unto thee shall be granted joy and health and wealth and wisdom when thou art no longer thou. Then shall every gain be a new sacrament, and it shall not defile thee. Thou shalt revel with the wanton in the marketplace, and the virgins shall fling roses upon thee, and the merchants bend their knees and bring thee gold and spices. Also young boys shall pour wonderful wines for thee, and the singers and the dancers shall sing and dance for thee. Yet shalt thou not be therein, for thou shalt be forgotten, dust lost in dust. Nor shall the aeon itself avail thee in this, for from the dust shall a white ash be prepared by Hermes the invisible. And this is the wrath of God, that these things should be thus. And this is the grace of God, that these things should be thus. Wherefore I charge you that ye come unto me in the beginning. For if ye take but one step in this path, ye must arrive inevitably at the end thereof. This path is beyond life and death. It is also beyond love, but that ye know not, for ye know not love. And the end thereof is known not even unto Our Lady, or the beast whereon she rideth, nor unto the Virgin her daughter, nor unto Chaos her lawful lord, but unto the crowned child is it known? It is not known, if it be known. Therefore unto Hadit and unto Nuit be the glory in the end and the beginning, yea, in the end and the beginning. End of Liber Cheth. So the point of this reading that was to highlight the importance of Babalon Gnosis within our community, within not just Ecclesia Babylon, but also within the Abbey of the Dark Mother, which is a branch of EB, and the whole 156 current itself. Now, how do we come to know Babalon as a goddess? We come to know her through our methodology, ultimately. And we learn our methodology is fundamentally the call. And the call is the basis of our entire organization and community. It is the ritual that binds our priesthood, and it is the ritual that brings us closer to our knowledge of Babalon. Now, Babalon is a thoroughly modern goddess. She is not like the Virgin Mary, though there are many similarities between her and similar other dark goddesses throughout history, whether it's be Ereshkigal or Kali or Hecate. There are some similarities, but ultimately we have to remember that each of these deities are completely separate and and independent. They are not amalgamations of the same goddess. And we have to be very distinct about that. Because ultimately, if we dive into this, into the belief that Babylon is all of these other goddesses, then we lose ultimately the focus of our own gnosis. And so, how do we know Babylon? Where, if Babylon is a modern interpretation, or I shouldn't say interpretation, but a modern deity compared to some of the more traditional Dark Mother concepts. What is their history, right? The first mention of Babylon began with in her modern context, began with the Enochian session, the angelic sessions of Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly. During the course of their scrying sessions, they came across Madimi, and Madimi's famous speech in the course of her sessions between, I believe, 15. I want to say 1560. No, 15. I'm not good with dates. Sorry. But during the course of the scrying sessions, Madimi revealed herself as the daughter of fortitude. And this is the other aspect of Babylon, is that Babylon is not just the mother of abominations. She is also the daughter of fortitude. There are two aspects to Babylon. There is Babylon in Bana, and there is also Babylon in Malkut. That Kabbalistically they interconnect as well. So through this interconnection, we experience ultimately Nuit, because Babylon is a avatar or aspect of Nuit as well within Thelemic pantheon. So with that, I go further in time to the intersection of Babylon within the context of Aleister Crowley. Crowley's connection with Babylon takes place over many different points. Whether we're talking about this vision, the scrying of the 38 Enochian Aethers, with the scrying of the Aether of the 9th Aether and the 12th Aether, and I believe also the 15th as well. Those chapters in the Vision and the Voice highlight Babylon in the Thelemic context, and she even makes an appearance or reference, albeit not indirectly referenced in Liber Al as well. When they refer to a woman being girt with a sword, and many, as like with Liber Cheth as well, there are plenty of holy books that reference Babylon. And so, over the course of Thelemic history, whether it be Aleister Crowley or be Jack Parsons with the Babylon working and Liber 49, we see that Babylon is very intertwined with the Thelemic pantheon and with how Thelemites relate to her in various ways, whether it be Crowley's sexualized initiatrix, or it be Jack Parsons' revolutionary feminist icon, or even Kenneth Grant's um, uh, even Kenneth Grant's vision of the ideal thelemic woman. We find that Babylon has been interpreted many different times by many different figures, but also by more prolifically by men. The interpretations of Babylon by women have largely been drowned out up until this point. And it should be noted, especially if one reads The Eloquent Blood, that women like Leah Hersig and Layla Waddle saw Babylon as more than just a sexualized feminine. She wasn't just subservient to the male magician, and that women, when Leah Hersig took on the personification of Babylon, she wasn't just a tool for Aleister Crowley anymore. She became the living embodiment of Babylon. And the same thing with the Babylon working with Jack Parsons in his attempt to create a physical avatar of Babylon into the real world. And we see many examples of this. And with these different creations, we ultimately come to the modern current of the 156 of the cult of Babylon with Ecclesia Babylon and how we interpret Babylon. The nature of Babylon within our community is not simply a sexualized representation of feminine sexuality. Babylon is more than simply the divine feminine. She embodies both aspects of the feminine and the masculine. The best way I've been able to describe it is imagine a initiatrix with a very big strap on. That's the way I kind of see Babylon, is that she's not simply passive or receptive. She is very much an active and passionate entity within and deity within our work. And through our working with her, she pushes us to face our weaknesses and to overcome them through her strength. Babylon's living avatar exists within our egregore. The egregore, for those who are not familiar, an egregore is a non-physical entity that arises from the collective thoughts of a distinct group of people. We believe that this spiritual egregore of Babylon, is a conduit in which she can manifest into the physical world. It does not rest within a single human being, but instead rests within the collective body of Babylon, the membership and the laity of the 156 current. We do not necessarily believe that the egregore is solely the product of Ecclesia Babylon, but rather the product of the 156 current itself in all of its facets, and believe that anyone who follows and who approaches Babylon will be able to participate within the confines of that egregore. The point of the call of Babylon in Ecclesia Babylon is to take in that egregore of Babylon into ourselves and become part of her collective body. to become an atom within the body of Babylon. By taking on the call, we are taking a piece of her into ourselves. And that is the fundamental role of that ritual. It is an invocation, but to simply say it as it's an invocation would be to oversimplify it. It is much more than simply an invocation of deity. We are also perfecting ourselves in the course of it. We are all of the sludge and imperfection in ourselves and the unprocessed trauma that we have clouded ourselves from comes to the surface in the course of the ritual. And it manifests depending on the individual and their circumstances. For some, it is intense. For others, it is benign. But regardless of how one experiences the call, the end result is always fundamentally the same. It requires a great deal of energy. Whether one leaves the ritual feeling drained or feeling extremely energized. The experiences that one receives from the call is the ultimate reward. In the course of it, you face yourself and you become better through it. It is also the initiatory ritual of our priesthood. But not everyone who takes the call is required to join the priesthood. The priesthood is within Ecclesia Babylon and the Abbey of the Dark Mother is something that one has to approach with commitment and conviction, and willing to put forth the effort and participation within the community at large. To take on the role as some sort of status symbol would be to do the egregore and Babylon an injustice. And that is where the role of the Scarlet Woman comes into play with EB and with the Abbey of the Dark Mother. The Scarlet Woman is not just a sex magical partner. It is far more than that. It is not simply an instrument for initiate. The title is not simply an instrument for initiation. To treat the Scarlet Woman as simply a sexual tool for the male magician to achieve some form of initiatory or transcending state is nothing more than regurgitating the same chauvinist and patriarchal delusion that has hampered Thelema since its inception. Thelema, the Babalon Gnosis, as well as the Thelemic practice, are living traditions and should thus evolve not necessarily to the ignoring of Crowley as a dominant figure within the tradition, but as looking at it not from a dogmatic or static perspective. The role of the Scarlet Woman is not just for women. While women have predominantly have adopted this role, it is a role that within Ecclesia Babylon and the Abbey of the Dark Mother we see as a role that can be embodied by anyone. And it is not simply a receptive role or a passive role, which is why the Red Mass is a singular ritual that can be performed by anyone, and is not restricted to one sex or one voice. We call this the title the Scarlet Emissary, because as members of the body of Babylon, we are ambassadors for her message and her law. And her law being the law of Thelema, which is do what thou wilt, should be the whole of the law. And her law is the law of freedom. To say otherwise is to pervert the law. The Scarlet Emissary can be male or female, can be non-binary, can be transsexual, can be asexual, can be any race, creed, any race or gender. It does not. There is no specific limitations aside from being a member of our priesthood when it comes to the title of Scarlet Emissary. And the role of the Scarlet Emissary is to spread Babalon Gnosis and to encourage others, and through promulgation, to take up the call for themselves. It is through these efforts that Babalon Gnosis is spread. It is not spread through missionaries. It is spread simply through conviction and through personal will. And it is through this also that we become closer not only to Babylon but to our respective communities. The 156 current or cult of Babylon is the cult of Babylon is a segment of the total Thelemic community. It is not separate from the Thelemic community. It is not independent, nor does it claim that it is not part of the Thelemic community. Whether you are a traditional Thelemite from the OTO or AA or TTO, all those who seek to unite with Babylon in according to our methodology are welcome to participate. We do not require anything of those who seek to participate outside of conviction and commitment. The role that we play is entirely dependent on our will. And with that said, this is the end of my little sermon. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions in regards to my sermon, please feel free to write me in the comment section below. Outside of that, I am going to continue with the Red Mass, and I encourage you to follow along. With that said, let's begin. If you have a cracker or piece of bread you would like to use, I ask you to get that now. And if you would like to follow along, please recite after me. Place your hand over the cracker or piece of bread and say the following with me. Hail, O great mother! Holy is thy name, Babylon, so filled with mirth. Thy reign is come, thy will is done. Here is the bread, here is the blood. Bring me through the abyss to thy gate. Embrace me and bless me, O scarlet mother, crowned matron of our brotherhood. Take me now and accept this sacrifice offered under will. Excuse me. This bread I eat, this oath I swear, as I inflame myself with prayer. There is no grace, there is no guilt. This is the law, do what thou wilt. All right. With that said, we will start with the wine. So if you have a chalice with a little bit of wine or juice, I have Kool-Aid. So with that, we will start with the blessing of the wine. Place your hand over the cup and repeat after me. Glory unto the scarlet woman, Babylon, the mother of abominations, that rideth upon the beast. For she hath spilt their blood in every corner of the earth, and lo, she hath mingled in the cup of her whoredom. With the breath of her kisses hath she fermented it, and hath become the wine of the sacrament, the wine of the Sabbath. And in the holy assembly has she poured it out for her worshippers, and they have become drunken thereon, so that face to face they beheld my Father. Thus are they made worthy to become partakers of the mystery of this holy vessel, for the blood is the life. Lifting up the cup, say, O Babylon, Babylon, beloved, come now, partake of this sacrament, own this sanctuary, take me now. Let me get drunk with the wine of your dissolution. May your kisses corrupt me unto death. Accept this sacrifice offered under will. In addendum, thank you for blessing us with your presence, O great Mother Babylon. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell. This Mass is concluded. Go in peace. Ad gloria nostra Domini Abisi. Thank you for joining me for the beginning of the month Mass. I will be doing these masses once a month, the beginning of each month. With each one, we'll have a new theme. I hope my sermons are a little less jittery over the course of the year. I'm also looking forward to having new guests and potentially new topics to discuss. We will be discussing things such as the nature of true will, the holy guardian angel, different thelemic themes, and different aspects of our methodology. And with that going forward, I wish you all a good night, and thank you for joining me. I will now wait additional 5 minutes for anyone who has any questions. After that, I will close space and call it good night. I do want to make one real thing while you guys are typing in the comment section if you have any comments. But for those who are interested in doing the call, I do make these mala beads. I have ones that are plastic, and I also have ones that are made out of gemstone. The plastic ones are 10. What are your plans for the year? I plan on, well, the 20th of January, I plan on having my good friend Audra Milos on my show here. We're going to be discussing politics, social commentary, maybe a little bit of magic, and her plans for her show called Milos Minute. I plan on also having another show with my wife, Mrs. Nihilus or Lady Nihilus, and talk about the current state of her practice. I know that for sure we're going to do that. I don't have, aside from doing these masses once a month, I can't think of anything else as far as the show is concerned. I do plan on trying to encourage more people to try and do the call for sure, and potentially work through hopefully getting consecrated later towards the middle of the year and becoming a part of the bishopric. I definitely would look forward to doing that, because I see a lot of hope in this organization. 93 sibling. Now, a sibling for me is anyone who is on the same spiritual path, whether it be ceremonial magic or thelema, or a kindred spirit. That's the way I refer to it. That's what a sibling is to me, is a kindred spirit. But anyway, I'm looking forward to expanding the Abbey of the Dark Mother. Right now, the Abbey is just me. But I do hope to use these videos of the Red Mass as a way to engage people in our Abbey and by extension the greater EB community. And hopefully I can get some physical Red Masses going as well. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, I do also make these candles. Not the actual candle, but the Babalon candle specifically. This image was provided by Pineapple Abbey 156. If you see him in the chat there, give him a shout out and tell him how great his artwork is. He definitely deserves it. But these candles are, and along with the mala beads, and 3 days, and a special gift for those who order the deluxe box, which includes the candle and the gem stone malas. get a special gift inside. And these aren't for profit. You're simply paying for the cost of shipping and handling. This is the point of shipping these, is so that people have, because some people some people want to make their own stuff and some people don't want to make their own stuff, and I'm simply providing a alternative to those who aren't really looking to make their own stuff. Though I do encourage it. Making your own stuff, making your own candles, making your own good to know that you're that there's camaraderie sorry, in our chat here. But what was I talking about? Oh, yes. But infusing it with your energy as you create the malas, or you make your own candles, is a great way to begin your sort of prepping for the work to do the call, for sure. But like I said, if you're not interested in that, I can provide these supplies to those who are interested in doing the call and who want to join our community. Now, you don't have to do the call to join our community, but let me clarify. You do the call if you want to join our priesthood, which is, but to participate in a Red Mass or to just attend these services, you don't have to do the call. If you want to do the call just for the simple experience of it, that I also encourage that. It is a wonderful experience. I've done it twice, and every time I've done it, I've gotten something new has come out of it, and so I definitely encourage that. But aside from that, thank you all for attending. This has been a very rocky beginning, in my opinion. It could have been a little bit more smooth, but aside from that, I hope you all have a good night. 156.93. Love is the law. Love under will.